you. We had an excellent program by the boys Gopalpuram team. I think give them a round of applause to the who's you spoke. No, what's the name? 6th standard. Get up. Pradyumnan. Right. Pradyumnan. Very good. So he spoke on teamwork. I wanted others to say. Sit down. You spoke on. I'm so sorry. So it's a DAV voice Mogopal. I'm very sorry about that. So excellent. There's a nice speech by him, and then a wonderful, 2 bhajans by the choir of the boys Gopalpuram team. I'd like to thank all the teachers who have helped the children. If you can request the teachers to be against us, get up, and the principal Radha ma'am, Bhuvaneshwari ma'am. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Settle down. So before we have a few announcements, we will have about a 10-minute discussion on the concept of, let's spend 10 minutes to understand a little bit more about God. Yeah, God is one subject on which there's a lot of confusion, and this confusion exists right from ages. Right? What is God? Right? There's a lot of confusion in regard to our Devi Devtas God. Right? We say the multiple Devi Devtas, isn't it? Right? Our Devi Devtas God. Some people say there are 33 crore Devi Devtas, isn't it? It is said in Hinduism there are 33 crore Devi Devtas. So, fair bit of confusion around it. Then you have shlokas like, we say Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. What does that mean? You chant this mantra, this shloka, right? So what does this mean? Mother is God, father is God, teacher is God. So that means if all mothers are God, all fathers are God, all teachers are God, so are all of us gods? There are a number of mothers and fathers in this universe, right? That means all of them are gods. Does it sound logical? Possibly no. Right? So we need to understand some of the shlokas and the concept of God in the right perspective. Because when we say Mata Deva Bhava, Pitta Deva Bhava, everyone cannot be God. Right? That's not logically possible. Right? So what does it really mean? What does the word Deva mean? Right? Deva means it is a short of Devata. Right? So Devata, or the feminine form is Devi. Right? Devi and Devata. Right? So this concept of Devi and Devata needs to be understood in the right context. So we also say sun god, isn't it? So that is also Devata. Moon, trees, Tulsi, right? So there are multiple again. If you look at, there's one more set of Devi Devatas out there. So if you go back to the Vedas, the word Devi or Devata means one who gives unconditionally. One who gives unconditionally. What does unconditionally mean? One who gives without any direct expectation. Remember one thing, we today, if you look at our daily lives, the number of actions we do, they have expectations, or are they without expectations? 99% of our actions are with expectations. Even if you eat food, there is an expectation, right? That it will satisfy your hunger. If you drink water, there is once again an expectation, right? If you sleep, there is an expectation. Whatever 99.9% rather of our actions have some kind of an expectation or the other. Okay. These expectations can also be very direct, can be a little subtle. Do parents have expectations from you? The answer is yes. Right? But it is not like, for example, it's not like going to a shop and buying, say, food. There, what do? You actually pay direct money and buy the food. That is completely with expectation. With your mother, how is it? Is it that kind of an expectation? No, right? She will still have some expectation with regard to you doing well, you following your duties, etc., etc. But you don't have that kind of an absolute direct transaction. Right? So Devi and Devtas are those who give to us without any kind of an expectation. Make sense? Are you with me? And this Devi or Devtas can be broadly classified into living and non-living. Living and non-living. So living Devtas are your Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Achari Devo Bhava, teachers also same, right? They are living Devi Devtas, right? Atithi Devo Bhava. So all this comes under your Vedic scholars. All of this categories comes under your living Devtas. Indeed, even if suppose you help your friend, right? Even all of us over here, if we help someone without any expectation, to that small extent, we are also a Devi or a Devta. You understand? If you help your friend without expectation, do you generally have expectation? The answer is yes, isn't it? If I help someone, he also should help me. That expectation is generally there. If we avoid that expectation, then to that small extent, we also can be a Devi or a Devta for someone. Okay. Now, a mother is or a father is a Devta for everyone or only for you? Only for you, right? So, if a particular, say a parent is there, that parent takes care of one or two children completely. So, they are a Devi or a Devta for that child or for those two siblings, not for every child on this earth. Make sense? Similarly, an Acharya is there. They take, for example, a 40-student class. So, Devi for a Devta for that 40 students, not for the entire, all the children living in this world. Make sense? You are with me? So, we said that Devi or Devta can be living or non-living. Now, if you go back to the non-living space, then you have, for example, sun. Does sun have an expectation? No. Right? Every day it will rise and it will set. Right? It will give its sun rays to everyone. Right? Air, we say Vayu Devta. We say Jal Devta, Agni Devta, Surya Devta, Varun Devta. All this comes under your non-living Devi Devtas. Okay. So you have living Devi Devtas and you have non-living Devi Devtas. Okay. Now, are they gods? Are all of these gods? So the Vedas say that there is a subtle difference. God is only one. And God is absolutely supreme. Right? Can our parents also sometimes make mistakes? Possible. Right? But will God make mistakes? Absolutely not possible. Okay. So God is someone who is supreme. God is only one. God is kind, just, will not make any kind of mistakes. And 100% of God's actions will be without expectation. So there's a shloka, there's a sutra which says, Klesha, Karma, Vipaka, Ashaya, Apramrishtaha, Purusha Vishesha, Ishvaraha. There's a beautiful definition of God. I will not get into more details right now. I just to have a 5-10 minute discussion. Right? So God is someone who does not have any connection with dukkha. God does not have any connection with klesha. Klesha is dukkha. Klesha, karma. God does not have any connection with sakam karma. Karma with expectation. God does only and only nishkam karma. Right? So God has no connection with dukkha. Do you and I have dukkha? Do our parents have dukkha? Yes. Everyone born on this planet, if you are born, you will definitely have dukkha. Nyaya Darshan says, dukkha, janma, pravritti, dosh, mithya, jnanam. Only at these, if you are born, you will definitely have dukkha. If you have dukkha, you will have pravritti, dosh, mithya, jnana. So it's a process, right? So, but God does not have any dukkha. Right? So God is present everywhere. God does not have any dukkha. And the concept of Devi and Devta needs to be understood in the right context. Right? Otherwise, everyone, all are not God. They are Devi and Devtas. They are living and non-living. Again, sun is not God by himself. God created the sun. Okay. So, if you go back to the way you look at some of the logical statements, no? So, is God a Devi or a Devta? Yes. But all Devi Devtas are not gods. God is definitely a Devi Devta, but all Devi Devtas are not God. Does God have a gender? Does God have a gender? No. Why do we refer as he? It could also be referred as she. Right? Indeed, God has multiple names. So today if you have Shiva, Ganesh, Parvati, Lakshmi, Om, Saraswati, right? So if you look at all, there are multiple names of that one God. The way, if you take one particular person, that person could be kind, could be compassionate, could be hardworking, could be, sincere. So all these are adjectives with regard to one person. With regard to one person, right? So similarly, all these names that we have, right? As I mentioned, Ganesh, Saraswati, Parvati, and multiple names, they all represent different qualities of that one God. Does Saraswati, the word, have a meaning? Education. Lakshmi, what do you associate with? Prosperity, right? So all of this, Ganesh means one who governs the world, right? So all of these names represent certain qualities of that one supreme God. Let me give you a small story. I'm sure you must have heard about it. So once there were multiple blind men, right? And they had never seen an elephant. They were blind, right? So an elephant, they wanted to understand an elephant. So these blind men were there and they got an elephant. And all these blind men, they started touching the elephant to understand as to what does it feel like. So what are the kind of statements they gave when they start touching the elephant? Someone touched its trunk. They thought this is some kind of like its leg, some kind of a tree. Someone touched the belly area, thought this is like some kind of a big carpet, right? So people touched different parts of the elephant and started thinking this is all different. Makes sense? But actually it is one single elephant. So similarly, all these different names of gods many a times confuses us, right? We don't know as to what is the right thing, how to put this entire puzzle into place, right? But the answer lies in the Vedas. So we spoke about the concept of Devi and Devtas, right? Living and non-living, right? And we also understood that God is one supreme and God is one who does not have any connection with Klesha, Karma, Vipaka, Ashaya. I will not cover Vipaka and Ashaya right now, but Klesha and Karma you understood. Who does not have any kind of Dukkha and any kind of any karma with expectation. Any doubts? Any questions based on just what we discussed? They would like to ask from even from the back in the audience. If you have any questions, we can just take based on this short discussion that we had. Okay. So we'll move towards the couple of announcements and then we'll close today's session. So we have, yes sir.
God is formless.
Yes.
What is the basic purpose of man inventing God or discovering God in the form of Ganesh or Saraswati? What is the big point doing it?
So why did man do that? Right? Yeah, God is formless. So sometimes man possibly felt that he wants something in front of him, right, to kind of concentrate on. It is like, you say that, okay, I want to jump into a swimming pool and let me take a tube, right? And you jump into the pool. So possibly with those thoughts, right, man must have done that. But if you never leave this tube, you will never learn swimming. So to reach to the ultimate, you have to kind of meditate. The only way to reach the God, to reach that or, kind of get close to God is to meditate, right? And think about the formless God. But this possibly are some steps that were created. Sometimes could be vested interest with different reasons as to why, you kind of go back into this. But I must say that, for example, the story of Ganesha, if you think about it, The way that story, I will not get into details right now, but some of those are quite, quite illogical, I would say. For example, how Ganesha came into existence, I think are aspects that definitely need certain rethinking from our side. So 3 types of pramans based on which we accept things. We all like evidences, isn't it? We're all scientific. We like 3 types of evidences. Anyone can tell me 3 types of praman? Pratyaksh praman, Anuman praman, and Shabda praman. So Pratyaksh praman is what you see from your eyes, hear, feel, right? So with your senses. So that's the most convincing in some way, right? Then you have Anuman praman. Anuman praman is when you use logical thinking. Everything you cannot directly experience. Do you see air? No, you feel air. You can't see electricity, right? You can't see mobile phone signal, isn't it? But you are comfortable with all of these formless things as well. So second is Anuman praman. You think logically. And third is Shabda praman. Shabda praman is when you listen to someone whom you trust for their knowledge and you take them on face value. If I ask you, does the earth go around the sun or does the sun go around the earth? Earth goes around the sun. How do you know it? Which science? Have you experienced it yourself? No, right? And you get up in the morning, you see the sun going from the east to the west, isn't it? But all of you are completely convinced that the earth goes around the sun, right? It's not by Pratyaksh praman. Is it by Anuman praman? Not really. It's not like smoke, fire. See, if you see smoke, there is fire. It is not that kind of Anuman praman as well. Why do you accept it? Because of Shabda praman. Your teachers have told you, right from your lower classes, you have written n number of exams, you have read in the books again and again that the earth goes around the sun. Isn't it? So you believe it. That's Shabda praman. So Pratyaksh praman, Anuman praman, and Shabda praman are the 3 most important ways in which we convince ourselves. So with regard to some of these aspects, like the way Ganesha, etc. came to existence, I think by Anuman praman, if you think about it, it sounds quite, not that logical to my mind, but that's something which we'll take it later. Thank you. So we have this Prohit training course that we intend to launch from mostly December 15th or 16th. It's a 3-month residential program. You may want to spread the word just in case someone is really keen as well. Those who come regularly to the Samaj, you may also want to register for it. We sent it on the WhatsApp group as well. So we have got about 8 to 10 registrations, I think, are almost confirmed, who will be attending this 3-month, residential camp. So we will be making the accommodation facilities, and the training will happen a lot over here and also in the Boys Gopalpuram head office classrooms as well. If anyone would like further details, you can be in touch with us. Next, on next Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, we are having Swami Parmarth Devji. He is from Patanjali. That is the organization that started by Swami Ramdevji. He's over here, and he's going to have like just one session between 5:30 to 7:30 at Boys Mogopair on the 26th November, and on 27th November, that is next Sunday, will be here. 26th is over there, no? Yeah. So 26th at the Mogopair campus, Boys Mogopair campus, and 27th November that's next Sunday. Right, 5:30 to 7:30, it will happen here in the quadrangle, subject to rings. If the rings are there, then we'll move it to the auditorium on the 2nd floor. Otherwise, it will happen in the quadrangle. So, we're also trying to see if we can run regular yoga sessions here in the morning, but that information will come back to you later. But since over here, Swami Parmarth Devji, who is a very senior functionary as part of the Patanjali Haridwar, since he is over here, it will be just one single session. Next Sunday, in this particular campus, on Saturday, it will be at the Mogopair campus. So we'll anyway send the WhatsApp group as well. If, I'll request all of you to try and, make use of this opportunity. Next Sunday, 5:30 a.m. Our Satsang will begin at 8 a.m. as usual. Next. So you can see this, all this recordings are, happen. Thank you so much for, consistently coming and recording all these programs. They are available on this YouTube channel. Even this link, we will forward it to all of you. Okay? Even all of you have come over here, you may also want to send it to your friends and your families. Next. So today, Sarlaji was a Prohit and Yadavji gave the support on the PPT. Thank you so much. So now we'll have the meal prayer and the Shanti Pat. Sarlaji is there, or Or maybe I'll request a couple of children. You would like to come. Who would like to come? 2, 3 of you can come. As many of you. Come. So the mealtime prayer and then the Shanti part.
Prithvi Shanti Rama Shanti Om Shanti Vanaspati Vishwe Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Sama Shanti Redi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti